Oh, wow. What's up, everybody? Here I come. What's going on? Oh, I don't have my fucking hat on. That's all right. We're having coffee. We're having coffee. I'm not going to turn the lights on or anything in here. It's a nice rainy day. We finally have a nice rainy, dark day, you know? No more fucking springtime in November. So sick and tired of it. So sick and tired of it. There's leaves everywhere, right? There's colorful leaves everywhere, and yeah, I don't know. I go outside and I'm still in shorts and a t-shirt, which I'll wear shorts all year round. I don't give a fuck. But how is everyone doing? If there's anyone even in here. Hold on, let me even check. Let me check. Let me move this over. Let me move this over. Looks like one cat's watching. One person. That's all right. As long as you're entertained. So there's really no agenda today. You know what? Let me... Hold on. Let me grab my semi-hollow here. Like the kids' heads. I swear to God. Here we go. Yeah. I'll have a fidget toy in my hand. A fidget toy. Let me get this in closer so you can actually see me and not worry about everything else. Potion Sword Run, what's going on? I'm doing awesome. I'm with the cat. Ha ha! Oh, I'm that cat. Nice. Nice, nice. Yeah, I don't know if you heard me a minute ago. I honestly have no agenda. I haven't been live and I haven't been keeping a schedule lately. So I'm going to try to get back into the swing of things. Ooh. This guitar does that a lot anyway, so we do have a couple games set up to play, but I'd rather just do a chat thing at first here. What's going to happen is I do that and then everything else is going to drop. Yeah, see? See? Doesn't help that new strings too. You're all like, cool, we get to watch you fucking tune up a guitar. It's not even tuned up yet. Oh, let me put this back on. What's up, everybody? Sal, welcome in. Thank you. Television Gamer, what's going on, buddy? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let's read what we got to say here. How are you, buddy? Just woke up. Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm just waking up. My hair looks like all I do is I put some water in it and I combed it. I haven't done my normal routine yet except for I'm sucking down this garbage. Oh, man. I fucking love coffee so much. Television Gamer says, good morning, Creep. I'm working today, or I would be up. I would be up you. Yeah, I know. I know. I've kind of gotten into a habit. Wow, it's 10 o'clock already. I've kind of gotten into a habit of being up around 7, 8 o'clock. On a normal weekday, what I do is, since we only have the one vehicle right now, my Avalanche is garbage. I donated it to Cars for Kids after taking out the stereo system, selling that. We're down to the Traverse, her newer vehicle. And so I wake up in the morning, I drive her to the choo-choo station, and then I pick her up in the evening. It's just a couple blocks down the road. It's not that far at all, actually. She takes the orange line or the purple line into Boston. She works in the Fenway area. So I'm used to being up, but today I slept in. I slept until about 9. It fucking felt good. It felt good. Well, I hope you have a good day at work, my friend. Good day at work. It's 7 here. You must be in the California range. Is that correct? Wait, you're up north, aren't you? Are you Canadian? Please refresh my memory. I hope not. Not because I don't like Canadians. I got a lot of Canadian friends, but because you have a couple of entries in my giveaway and I can't ship it to you if you're in Canada unless you want to pay for the shipping. So it's all good. Sometimes we just connect with your audience is what's needed. Yeah, that's it. I prefer this kind of thing anyway. Central California. Okay, good. I like California. Well, I've only been there once, to be perfectly honest with you. When I was working at the prison in Arizona, I was in juvenile, and I made friends with a lot of the lady, they weren't really guards. So the way it was set up, at least in Arizona, is you had unit staff, and then you had what eventually became security. The unit staff were just a couple of cats with some polos in the actual pods themselves, hanging out with the teenagers, transporting them from here to there, bringing them to class or whatever. And then you had us. We were kind of like this little police department within the thing. They called us ERT for a while there, but they thought that didn't sound therapeutic enough. ERT standing for Emergency Response Team. That's literally what we did. Our main goal was we had our radios on, and like say one of the units, this facility, they were all named after animals. So Unit Elk, let's say Unit Elk had a problem, couple of kids fucking throwing fists. They would call what they call a 1024 disturbance on unit. You know, Unit Elk to control 1024, and all of us in our cool little fucking uniforms and our shiny little badges would go running in. Ah, we're the tough guys. It was a great job because more times than not, you know, it'd be like a Saturday or a Sunday. And we'd be bored out of our minds. So we'd be like, you know, let's go to each unit, grab a couple of kids and do a work crew. Fuck it. You know, and then we'll sit down and play spades with them. We'll get them something to eat. Made do of it. You know, we made do of it. But, yeah. Oh, the whole reason I was telling you about that is because there were a couple of chicks I used to hang out with a lot. In fact, one of them was passed away, but they're all like, we're going to Knott's Scary Farm during the Halloween season. And I didn't even know what Knott's Berry Farm was. And so it was like me and like 8 chicks. Most of them half-a-loompas. But this one chick, her and I were kind of courting, I guess. This Mexican chick. Really nice. She's passed on since I moved back to Boston. But really good friend. She went through the academy with me. We were partners for a little while. Not in relationship, but on the yard. Really good people. But that was the only time I've ever been to California. It's 10 a.m. here in New Jersey. Yeah, I'm just north of you, buddy. There's a lot of really cool shit in Jersey that I really like to pick up, man. There's a van there. There's a couple of BMX scooters. It seems like everything I want to get that's at a real decent price is in fucking New Jersey. I'm not driving down there. I'm not driving to Jersey to get a fucking BMX scooter. Unless it's the exact same one I had as a kid, meaning model and finish. And it's in great condition and at a really good price. But born and raised here. Right on, man. Right on. I dig. Poster so I live in Central Cali, too. I knew you were in Cali. The opposite coast, Sal. We're on the right coast of the country. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I think I'm a couple cents off here. What is wrong with this thing? I don't have it plugged in. It's too fucking early for that, but I have a 335 copy here. It's from a company called Glary, but they don't make them anymore. I don't know if Gibson just put a cease and desist on them. But it's an ES 335 from Gibson. Knockoff. Very inexpensive. And when I first got it, it showed every ounce of its inexpensiveness. But we got it going. They literally just put them together. They don't do anything with the bridge or the nut. They literally just make it look like it could play. They put it in a box and they ship it. When I got it, it even still had some of the paper inside the holes here. to block it off from getting the finish. I had some Chinese newspaper in there. And I wish I could read Chinese so I could see what was going on in the world, you know? But we persevered and we went forward with it because I've always wanted a semi-hollow. In fact, I'm really drooling over the Gibson variants. Those are like $3 fucking grand. It's this ebony one, all black with chrome. There's something about black Gibson guitars because they use a nitrocellulose. And it's the way that the nitro clear top coat fades. And it kind of yellows a little bit. And then the finish gets these little crack lines in it. Awesome. I had a Les Paul Studio from 1992. It was made the day before my birthday, 1992. The day before my birthday. And I ended up selling that one. I loved it. It was so distressed, but it was you'd look across the room and just see this black beauty. The chrome adornments. There it is, that word again. I don't know if you watched my last video. Oh no, that was on my TikTok. That was on my TikTok, but yeah, I mean, it's like $3 fucking grand. I don't got $3 grand. Look, I have $50 in my wallet. But yeah, it is what it is. But I put locking tuners on it, cheap ones. I replaced the pickups on it. I put these in. These are from a late 70s Hondo V that I painted into an Eddie Van Halen style. I gave it these kind of knobs because I just think the witch hat knobs look like 70s, and I gave it the poker chip around the fucking switch here. You know, I had to replace the output jack because it didn't work. And just gave it a setup. I know I make a lot of weird faces when I play, and I end up leaning into the guitar a lot. That's a bad habit, but I do that. Okay, let me get back to the chat here. Oh, man. Opposite coast, that's where we left off. And Television Gamer. I've never been to California, actually. I really want to go to the Haunted Mansion in California. I mean, obviously, I enjoy the aesthetic of the East Coast one, the one in Disney World, and I love it because that's the only one I've been to. But the California one, the one in Anaheim, is like... That's the Haunted Mansion, if you ask me. It's literally the same ride. It just has a different aesthetic, but I'd like to experience it once. I know that park is a lot smaller, and I know I'll probably be a little more disappointed, but they get a lot of cooler things over there. Like there was this Hatbox Go Sippy thing that would have went perfect with these other. I have the Hitchhiking Ghost ones that came out with years ago. There was one for a sipper, there was one that was a popcorn bucket, and there was one I think that held a burger. It was all three of them, and they're probably about almost a foot tall. And they have lights on the bottom to light up their face and everything. Pretty cool. And they're colored like ghosts, like different shades of blues, you know? And the Hatbox Ghost was purple, but shaded like that too. And it would have fit perfectly next to it. And I had a couple people say that they were going to get one, but it's only in California. They're like, yeah, I'll pick one up for you. And when I do, just, you know, I'll tell you what it's going to cost to get it to you. And no one has. And I don't even think they're available anymore. People do that all the time. Yeah, I'll go get one for you. I'll just let you know what it, you know. I never hear back from them. Sucks. I get all excited. I get the biggest hat on. Nice. What kind of scooter are you looking to buy? The one I had as a kid was a General Sidekick. It was the 14-inch, not the 12-inch, meaning the size of the tires. And the frame was slightly stretched. It was chrome. It had the roto. I don't think mine had pegs, though. Maybe just in the rear. I think it was just in the rear. And they were built into the frame. I can't remember. But it was called the General Sidekick Pro. Blue, had blue rims, black tires with the skin walls. It was really nice. It was really nice. And it's weird. It was one of those things where, and I think I did a video about it if you want to go back and look at it. It was one of those things where I think my father worked for a trucking company. He was a VP in sales. And I think a lot of our presents actually came from there because I know once a year they would have this sale of shit that never got picked up or claimed or they couldn't deliver, or whatever the case may be. And you would sit there and bargain, you know, dime on a dollar, penny on a dollar for whatever it was. But they would have that shit year round. I think the scooter was just there. My dad just like, I'm taking this home for my kids' Christmas. Because I honestly didn't know they existed. I knew BMX did. And I had a couple of really nice bikes, but eventually they just got destroyed because we did a lot of rough things with our bikes, you know. So I never really got super expensive ones. Like, I never had a GT Performer. I never had a Diamondback. I never had a Redline. You know, I had the middle of the road because I knew, and I would tell my dad this. The fuck? Because I knew I was just going to fuck it up. I mean, a lot of times we would take the brakes off, and over at the Winthrop Elementary School, still in Melrose, the yard was like this. It was just a concrete slab that went at an angle. And at the bottom was a brick wall. And at any given time, you could go down that brick wall and see chunks taken out of it. And that's because we would, without brakes, go down. And we'd play a version of Chicken. And I've hit that wall a few times out of pride. It sucked. I probably shouldn't have. And I went to the emergency room a few times. But that's what we did with our bikes. But long story short, I woke up one Christmas and it was there. And I was just like, this is fucking rad. But I think I'm going to get picked on. A scooter? Right? I got a picture of myself with my Daniel-san Karate Kid gi jammies. And I took it out, and all my buddies with the GT Performers like, whoa! They fucking loved it, and I loved it. I was just a lot slower than everybody else because I had to use actual kick power to keep up. That was the only part that really sucked. But when we went to the track, the trail, that's when the thing shined. It was really good. But yeah, chrome general sidekick with the blue rims. If I could find the frame in nice shape and the rims, that's it, I'd be happy. I could do the rest. In fact, I got enough parts upstairs in the attic from a few of the other BMX scooters I do have. I have one from Pacific, which I have for sale right now for $50. It's $75, but I'll go as low as $50. Needs a little bit of love. I got a Kent 14-inch, which isn't worth shit, but it's complete and it looks great. I got this X Games one from ESPN. That's fucking, it's like my pride one right now. I want to clean it up and get it looking great. I gotta redo the bearings inside the mags, the wheels, because the rear one does this fucking job now. I probably just need to pack them again, but regardless. Do I have I thought I had another one. I do. It was a Kent Scoot 3, but I cut it up and I put a Frankenstein head on the front pipe. I'm going to make it a complete think Tank Girl made a scooter for a dude. I think that's the vibe I'm going for. Tank Girl made a BMX scooter for a dude. It's going to be fucking cool. But yeah, General Sidekick Pro Chrome. All right. Let me get back to the chat. I've never been to the East Coast as far as Indiana and Nashville, right? Nashville's fun. Nashville. Their state troopers don't fuck around, I'll tell you that. They pulled us over. I was going from Arizona to Boston to pick up the rest of my stuff to bring to Arizona when I was, first getting started. And we drove back to Boston. And my sister-in-law's Ford, she had an Explorer. Like, back of the carpet was kind of peeled up a little bit in the corner because of her fucking border collie. They locked us down. They're like, you guys ain't going anywhere. And they fucking went through that car with, we had to wait for dogs. And it's just like, are you fucking serious, guys? Really? All right, whatever. Ooh, let's see. Sal says, I was in Vegas nearly 2 summers ago. That was my only time on the West Coast. Vegas. I've never been to Vegas. Was in Arizona 15 years. I never went to Vegas and never got to see the Grand Canyon in person. Jet Screamo, what's going on, brother? Good morning, my friend. California is definitely on my list of places to go. Okay, I have to be perfectly honest with you. When I was in Arizona, I didn't get along with a lot of cats from California. I don't know if it was just the attitude. I mean, you got to remember, I'm on the East Coast. California's way over here. And there are completely different ideals. Even though I grew up in a blue state, there are a lot of values in most cats I shouldn't say most, in a lot of cats in California that I just don't agree with. And I'm not talking about political or anything. I'm just talking about in general life, There's a certain tough guy element to it, whether it's real or not. That you just always have to. Whenever I don't give a fuck. Oh man, whenever I would hear that, holy shit, it would fucking boil my blood. But yeah, I don't have a lot of experience in California at all. We literally went there, did the thing, and then came back the next morning. But, yeah. I used to build my own bikes from yard sale bikes. I had this little shift on my column on a dirt bike. That's fucking cool, man. Tank Girl is awesome, Jet Screamer. Absolutely. I haven't seen that movie in years. I mean, it's not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it's fucking awesome. It's really fucking awesome, but yeah. Bikes. Me and my friends used to have like a little bike shop. I hate to admit it, but we're 14, 15, right? We were those dickheads that if your shit wasn't locked down, we would take it, we would rebuild it, and sell it back to you, and you would never even fucking know it was your old bike. Mainly my buddy Jared. You know, I kind of just turned the wrench. He was the brave one. He was the one that would fucking gank it. That's what we used to call it, ganking. Dude, I'm going to go gank that fucking GTO there. That Raleigh. There was a Raleigh BMX I really wanted to get my hands on. I can't remember what it was called, but it had the downpipe there. Was two. There was two of them. It just had this really rad look. It's pretty sick. The comics are better than the movie, but I love Lori Petty. I didn't even know that. I guess I did know there were comics. I just never really. I got into comics a little bit, but like much like with anything else, I was more into like the alternative stuff. You know, the stuff that hardly anyone ever gave a shit about. Let me adjust this. Yeah, I never got into comics. I had a Metallica comic. It was like how they got started. It was so weird. It had like Lars at a Deep Purple show with his dad. He was like, yeah, I just wish it was faster. I had a whole bunch of Terminator comics. I got a couple of Haunted Mansion comics. EC and stuff like that I liked a lot. I never really, I would find them at yard sales here and there. But I didn't hold any value to them. I would read them, and then they would just end up wherever they ended up, you know, whether they got thrown away or someone took them, or maybe a buddy of mine borrowed it, and I just never cared to ask for it back. I was never really into comics. I don't know why. Maybe because it required effort. Sorry, it's a little something I've been working on lately. Just a real simple blues thing. I'm actually kind of stealing from, what the fuck is that song called? I'm the One by Danzig. I played it way too fast, but I went to boarding school. We had so many comics. Really? Comics are better than the movies. But okay, we already saw that one. You know what? The art of comics I really liked. I noticed more times than not, unless it was like a monster comic or something like that, I hardly ever really read them. I have to be honest with you. I kind of glazed over the story, but it was like the artwork I was more into. It was more the artwork, especially that old school, like 60s horror art, because it was so abstract and like they suggest more than they actually show. Like you'll see the idea of a face, but like in like almost streaked paint, and like say they had a hood, and the background would have nothing. It'd be some kind of weird color in the back, dark, but maybe not black. It'd be like a weird dark maroon, and there'd be like just white streaks showing the idea of a building behind it. Just really creepy shit. I love that. That's the kind of comic I used to love, that kind of artwork. Shit that you would see on the cover of, say, a Halloween record, you know, from Picklewick Records. Anyone remember Pickwick Records? Or Peter Pan? Pickwick Records. Man, they had a lot too, didn't they? Well, I'm not warmed up. I can't play a fucking note. Try not to be too too blatant with what I'm playing in case of copyright, you know. You want to tell me what that song is? Fuck, I fucked it up. It's a great song. It's one of the first songs that actually truly made me feel something. I don't know why. I don't know. Like deeper than just feeling excited about whatever. But I don't know. So what's going on with everybody today? What do we got? What do we got planned? What's our plan for the afternoons? Do you want to have like the chores or I don't know, weddings? Anything to go to? It's fucking pouring rain out right now. I like it. We haven't had rain in a while. About time. It's very like not this past summer, but the summer before it did nothing but fucking rain, and then this past summer we didn't get shit. It's feast or famine when it comes to Mother Nature, right? Fucking whore. She's a whore. She's a dirty whore. You guys want to see something pretty neat? You want to see something pretty neat? It's a custom figure I've been working on. I'm stuck on the paint. Look at, he's got an astronaut. He's about ready to fucking eat him or something. I don't know what he's doing. But I kit bashed a whole bunch of stuff. I'm sure you recognize what this head is. Psh, psh, psh. I hope you know. It's fucking Febreze. It's from Febreze. This piece here, which I know you can't really see that well, came from a mech. There was a cat here locally that gave me a big bag of broken action figures a long time ago, and I've been slowly working with them. Using little pieces here. As a matter of fact, this piece here is also, it's from a Transformer that was all banged up. We did a video of me trying to put it together and all that. Really fun stuff. It was frustrating. I hate Transformers. But this piece here was from that Transformer. Some Final Faction pieces from a Dollar Tree. But this thing here is pretty cool. I got a... Hold on. What the shit? Let me put the guitar down. Maybe we'll play some games. Because I don't really have much to say to you guys, you know? But I made this for him. This is his gun. I'm sorry, his pew-pew. YouTube doesn't like, you know, doesn't like words. I made this just out of random pieces. And it's going to go, wow, right there. Right there. You're fucking doomed, bro. When this guy shows up, you know the game is over. I just don't know who he is. I don't know what his deal is. And I don't know what his favorite toppings on pizza is. I don't know. I don't know what color scheme to give him. He was a Shark 12-inch action figure from either Marvel or DC. I'm not a fucking comic books. I can't get into it. Superman is probably the only real movie I liked. Superman the movie. Blade was really cool, but you know, the Dark Knight trilogy was awesome, but can't get into it. But he was a shark. And I picked it up on a whim at a Savers thinking, oh, this might be a street shark. I love street sharks, but they were a little after my time. So I kind of like ignored them because I was into pussy. And I grabbed it thinking, oh, cool, street shark. I brought it home and it's fucking, I think it was DC or Marvel, I can't remember. But regardless, I said, you know, I'm cutting his fucking head off and I'm putting something on top of it. Instead of just getting rid of it, I turned it into something, and maybe it'll go up on Etsy. Maybe it'll go up on Etsy, which I am opening my Etsy shop back up. There's going to be a lot of my artwork there. The figures are all gone for now. I do still have a bunch, but what I'm going to do with those is I'm going to put them in a little baggie and then put the little tent card on it. And then we have all these little mini libraries in front of people's houses all over the city. I'm just going to do what they call an art drop and just throw them everywhere. Just so, if a kid wants a little action figure that I made, with no information on it, I'll leave it anonymous for the most part. But I'm probably going to do that with all my little guys that I make. There's just too many of them around, and they don't sell. So I'm going to put up a bunch of my art, and I have stuff like this that I've been working on. But I'm honestly, what I'm trying to do, and I didn't even mean to talk about this, but what I'm trying to do is make custom hides for reptiles. And I have one completed, and I have one that I need to work out a few kinks, and I have about 5 more behind it that I'd like to make. And I'm not just making one, I'm making what they call the buck of it. I'm making the master so I can make a mold of it, And then I'm going to slush cast them. And I'm hoping to sell some of my art. Well, one for Christmas. I have no money for Christmas. But to put the money aside to buy materials to reproduce the hides. And I'm going to build a website. I'm slowly building a website with Wix, I think it's called, for the hides. I just don't have a name for it. Maybe I'll just do the Millie Macabre. I mean, that's my art, right? That's my art name. But call them like kooky critter hides or something like that. Or, stuff your fucking snake in my hole. Whatever the fuck the case may be. But, I want to use the money to get supplies for that. I can go up to my old work, Artists and Craftsman Supply in Saugus, not at the fucking mall, you idiot. You know who you are. I know you work at the mall. I'm going to come visit you. All right, come on by. Have a nice day. While you're there, pick up a coffee for me. And he got mad when I said that. I said, if you're going to come shoot me, at least bring a fucking coffee. I don't know. Whatever. I don't give a shit. I really don't. I don't. But they sell smooth-on products, silicone and casting resin and all kinds of stuff. But it's like these little kits. And there used to be a place here called Reynolds Industrial Supply where you could buy the big gallon kits. But they're gone now. And it's hard to get them because, I don't know if it's because of the chemicals, but Smooth On is very particular about who can get the larger kits, the ones that I need, to reproduce a whole fuck ton of these things. So I'm probably going to have to start with buying a couple of kits and hopefully not taking too much of a loss in the beginning. And, a typical plan here is I actually have like a little written down plan is to get enough money to reproduce a few of them, get like 10, 20, 15, 20, whatever done. 5 of them as kits, meaning you paint it yourself, and the rest of them I will do whatever design I decide to do on it as far as paint and get out my airbrush, And then put half of that money into the next one. And then keep doing that and keep doing that, And hopefully it'll become something. I would love to be able to rent a little place to actually do it in. But like a garage. Someone's garage. There is an art studio here. It's like $200 a month for a studio, but it's in an old Victorian home. And I mean, I guess if you're messy, it's fine. I have tarps I can put down, but yeah, I mean, that's, let me go get one of them. Let me go get them. I'll show them to you. Hold on. All right, this is the first one. I started this one over a year ago, and I just finished it somewhat recently. This right here, that's where the opening will be, but I recessed it in so I knew where to cut it out, because when you mold it, I don't want the shit to go inside, because then it would just be a big block of rubber, right? So, this is sculpted with hot glue, and it's made to look like muscle. I know you're not going to be able to see it on this camera, but it's got kind of a muscle sinew kind of thing. You might be able to see it a little bit on this one here. But this is a little guy, and the type of resin, silicone I need is the type that you can stipple on. You put a little powder in it to thicken it up, and it cures on there, and then I'm just going to put a jacket of plaster bandages over it to hold it rigid. And then what you do is you pour a little bit of the resin in it, and you do this until it's cured up. And then you do that slush casting, they call it. Some people actually have a machine that you just crank it and it literally gyros it like this for you. It's so fucking rad. But this one's complete and ready to mold. I just don't have the materials or the cash for it. And this one here is in progress. This one here is going to be a little bit more intricate molding because there are going to be a lot of undercuts and a lot of places where air can get trapped and bubbles can form both on the mold and the thing. So I need to work it out. I'm not done adding things to it. This one started off, when I was in Arizona, I had a ball python, and I ended up, when I moved back here, I had to give him away, you know. And he had, I don't even remember where I found it, but it was a hide like this, but it was nothing but skulls. It was just a big pile of skulls. And I painted it, and it looked great. It looked really good. But I've yet to ever see one again. And I look up custom hides for reptiles online, and you get a couple, like, somewhat skulls, and a lot of them like dinosaur bones. And I want to make one that looks like a rotten coffin, maybe even one that looks like a fucking old ship that broke down. I'm definitely doing a Frankenstein head. In fact, I have a Frankenstein head one from my snake now. But it's like small. He loves it. Don't get me wrong. He loves it. And it's one of those ones where he can go in and I can pick it up and he just never comes out. I can shake it. He's in there, you know. But he does. He likes it. And I got a little ramp over it for him to go under too if he needs more space. And he's hidden so, you know, he feels safe. But I've just never seen another one that's cool. You just don't see too many cool ones out there. So I want to do some handmade. Has anyone heard of Jack of the Dust? Jack of the Dust, he does a bunch of skulls and stuff like that. Excuse me, I just got powder all over my laptop. Kind of that idea, but with reptile hides and stuff. I really want this to become a business. You know, people are like, dude, you're fucking lazy. No, I'm not. I'm working all the time. The problem is what I do just doesn't produce anything, you know? And my biggest problem is I'm not money motivated. I never really fucking have been. You know, I just look at money like, you know, I have it or I don't. You know, it'll come when I need it. You know, and I'm working towards another career and everything, but I want to do this. I really do. I'd rather just do my own thing and create. And do something that is useful for outside of, you know. I mean, it's one thing to make. It's one thing to create. You know, you guys are getting a lesson in the creative mind of a fucking weirdo. It's one thing to keep creating like little custom figures like this, you know. God, I have a ton of them over there. A ton of custom figures. And you guys have seen what I've done. I did the Grave Boy, the Game Boy monster. You know, I still have that. If anyone wants it, I'll cut you a deal. I was originally selling for $150, but I'll cut someone a really good deal on that one, as long as you pay the full shipping. I just never been money motivated. And some of these like action figure things are just tough to even market. And I tend to make a lot of things like that. So I've been looking at my personal situation. I'm like, you know what? My snake has a couple of cool hides, and I've made a few. In fact, I'm still working on one right now that's a couple of pipes, and they're PVC, real large, like a 3-inch. And, you know, I'll get that one too. Hold on. And I'm making this one for my guy. And that's what gave me the idea. I mean, I don't know if you can see the texture on this one, but it's going to be like rusty, you know, pipes. And this side I haven't worked on yet. You know? And there's a hole in there for him to go between the two setups here. And it's just going to be in there like this, all rusted and looking cool. And you'll have a really cool thing to slither through. It gives them a little bit of what they call enrichment. You know, gives them a little bit of safety and security. And it looks fucking rad for me to look at. So everyone benefits. And that's when I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do it myself. Make my own fucking things. And I started with that. But, hey, Back, what's going on, man? Back from the dead! I'd be pissed. I would be pissed. Good morning, buddy. Thank you for coming in. But I just don't see too many really rad accessory hides for reptiles. So I'm just gonna do it my fucking self, and hopefully I can get a few bucks. I think if I had like $300, if I came up with $300 for selling some of my art, I could buy the gallon kit and then the resin for it. And I have everything else, you know. I just need to find a space to really. I mean, those gallon kits are a pain in the ass to pour out. I'd probably have to buy a scale too. Maybe I'd buy a scale. But regardless, or I'm sorry, a pressure pot. I don't have a pressure pot. I've never used a pressure pot for my resin casting. They're ideal for eliminating all air bubbles. You know, some people will do it with their silicon mold rubber too. When they mix the two chemicals together, they'll put it in a pressure pot or a vacuum chamber, and they'll suck out the air and they'll pour it slowly, you know, over the thing. And a lot of times people will do the same thing with the resin. They'll pour their little action figure and they'll put it in the thing, close it. And what it does is it just eliminates all air bubbles whatsoever. And if you're using a clear resin, you will always have some form of air bubbles in the center that you can see through it. But you put it in a vacuum chamber, it's fucking crystal clear. So I would probably either make or build one of those to make these seriously. But I don't necessarily need it, especially if I'm slush casting. This one here won't be a slush cast. This one here will be. Have you ever bought a car toy plastic? Like there was Gay Toys. Shut up. There was a company called Gay Toys that made these little plastic cars. They were usually like a white thing on the inside and then a color on the outside and just simple snap-on wheels. If you took the body off, you'd see these little round things on the roof and inside, you know. And sometimes they would have like a thin little half circle of plastic. What that is they molded it, right? They took a mold of the item and then they turned it upside down and took another mold and then they put sticks. And the mold is open on the top and you pour a shit ton in there. What happens is since you have a positive and a negative going into each other, it forces the resin into the spaces, and then those holes are made to, release the extra, so you're not, and that's where those little flash lines come from, not the edge ones, but the half circle ones you usually see. It's usually a thin little thing that you can just peel right off. But that one's going to be that kind of a casting. I don't think I could do, maybe I could do slush casting with it, but I still need to finish it, so I'm close to finishing. But yeah, I'd like to get this guy going here pretty soon, get like 25 of these up in the shop somewhere. I don't even know what I would price them at. I'd have to, figure out my cost of materials and time and all that stuff. Hey, good morning. I'm live right now, so.
Oh, okay.
So I would get a little less in jammies, a little more in clothes if you're going to walk by.
All right, I love you.
Love you too, sweetie. That's the teenager that sleeps all day. Back from the Dead says, another at work. All right, I'm trying to rage. Shut up. Fucking maggot. Another at work. At least the weather isn't that bad. I could go for a night. A Mike's Pastry, yes. I like their lobster tails. It's basically like a giant cannoli. Shaped like a fucking cone. Love them. I'll get back to Boston for PAX East, May 8th through the 11th next year. I've never been to that kind of a convention. I've been to one convention my entire life that I can recall. And it was a horror convention that nobody showed up to. In fact, I booked somebody for it. I booked C.J. Graham from Friday the 13th, Part 6. He played Jason in that one. And it was the early 2000s. Actually, it was 2004 in Scottsdale, Arizona on Halloween. I was part of this website called HorrorSeek/HorrorFind.com. In fact, I built my websites through them. They had like a free little area for members to be able to use, and then you had to come up with your own domain and all that shit. But a lot of these horror guys, I mean, they weren't like revered and shit like they are now. They were just online. Like I talked to C.J. Graham from Part 6 a lot, Kane Hodder a few times. My favorite, Richard Brooker, who, God rest his soul, he's gone now. He played Jason in Part 3 when he originally got his mask. He's my favorite Jason. He's, I talked to him. I made a video about that conversation. It was a debate on a specific accident that happened with a mask and whether it was intentional in script or intentional. I don't know. You'd have to watch the video. It's tough to explain, but there's a scene where he pulls a rope over his head because he just got hung, and the mask comes up. And my argument is that yes, it was written that the mask will come up, but in the world of the movie, it was an accident. He didn't mean to lift up the mask. The rope grabbed it, and then he put it back down. A lot of people think he did that to be like, ah. Probably because of, in Jason Takes Manhattan, he does it. He does it just to basically say, don't fuck with me. But no, in this one, it was that the rope caught onto it and lifted the mask up. And he says it was written to do that, so it wasn't an accident like a blooper. But it wasn't supposed to be a look at me review, And he agreed with me. He agreed with me 100%. Because everyone thinks Jason just showed his face. To be like, remember me? But no, that's not the case. And I'm right. But I've never been to PAX. I don't think there's anything at PAX I would enjoy anyway. I mean, I'm not into modern gaming. If Atari has a booth, maybe I'll go over there and grab a few fucking tchotchkes or whatever they're giving away. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of disenchanted with the whole Atari thing now. I really am. I know a lot of people are loving it, and I absolutely love that Atari's been killing it. I really do. I wouldn't go so far as to say I'm proud of what they're doing, but I appreciate the respect and the love while still trying to make money off of the name that they're doing. But my argument is how many fucking times, and this is why I make fun of Nintendo fans. Not because I don't like Nintendo. I really do like Nintendo. I had NES, and I secretly was jealous of the SNES, though I will still stand on that Genesis, to me, was a better console for my needs. I would pick a Genesis over an SNES any day. Although I do want to customize an SNES one day. So I'll give it a really rad paint job. So if anyone has one that's beat up and you want me to paint it, as long as you just let me have carte blanche, you'll get a really cool console. It'll take a while. That's how I work. Sometimes I bang it out in a weekend. Sometimes it takes me 2 years to make something. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy they've been doing what they do, but it's like, how many fucking times can you buy Combat? How many times can you buy fucking Yaz Revenge? How many times can you buy Haunted House? And then you had that pack that there were $100 a piece and it was $1,000 for the whole set. And I'm like, I get it, but it's like, this is nothing I can't make, So maybe that's what it is. I can make all this stuff. Like I'll see certain things that literally just have a brand slapped on it, and people get all excited, and I'm like, I can do that. I could do that with no fucking problem. Honestly, I can silk screen. I can make fucking decal or have decals made. Wouldn't be hard at all, But maybe I'm just a prick. Gotta get more coffee here. Oh, back from there. Maybe I'll pop into PAX East and we can bump in and have a coffee or something. Where is it going to be this year? Is it the same place every year? I don't even know where they hold it. Probably at something called the Convention Center. Do I even have a convention center in Boston? I don't fucking know. I don't know. Guys, can you excuse me a moment? I'm gonna go refill my cup. I'll be back. You'll still be able to hear everybody. Brownies at 10 in the morning?
Yeah, brownies. It's 11.
You're 11.
Is the stream still on?
What?
Is the stream still on?
I still can't hear you.
Is the stream still on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When the fuck have I ever been professional?
I don't know.
It's coffee with the creep. I'm getting more coffee.
This is how it works.
Yeah. Just don't be obnoxious, please. Don't be intrusive. In fact, don't come into the stream. All right, say hi. She's fucking eating a brownie, bro. She's eating a brownie. Oh, what the hell? You're getting it all over me. Get the fuck out of here with that brownie. Bye. I'm sweaty.
Love you, Dad.
You just licked my sweat, weirdo.
Look good.
Fucking weirdo. These kids these days. This generation. Same place, the convention center near the airport. Yeah, no, I know exactly where it is. I'm just being a fucking weirdo. I know where the convention center is. I didn't know where they hosted. I didn't know where they hosted the whole thing, but yeah, do any of you guys have reptiles? Anyone have reptiles? Anyone want to pre-order one? I just don't know when they'll come out. Maybe I should do that. No, because every time someone does like that pre-order thing, it turns into a crowdfunding. Is that what they call it? Crowd fucking funding? That's actually not a bad idea. Should I do that, or is that kind of a scummy thing? Somebody help me out here, actually. You know, I'm not the e-begging type. That's why I don't have Patreon or anything like that. I do have the Creep Collective, you know, the channel membership. I think it's 99 cents. And it was originally like a contract that I'm going to start giving things away. I didn't do that because I just didn't, I didn't have the money for shipping things once a week. And sometimes I get excited with ideas and I just jump them out there, and it's a manic thing sometimes, you know. It's a mental health. I'm sorry about that, but I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to change. I'm never going to change, and I'm sure a lot of you figured it out. We will be finishing that steering wheel. Don't you worry. There's going to be 2 more parts. The next part, and I'm still working on it now, is I'm getting it to actually be functional. And then from there, we're going to customize it. So, but that's it. Yeah, but I mean, I've never done anything like that. To me, it just kind of has a bad ring to it. It just has a bad ring to it. Or what's that other one? GoFundMe? Where you literally just beg? You literally just beg? At least with the crowdfunding, I mean, people get something out of it, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I would rather just sell my art. I'd rather just sell what I have, you know? Because at least that way you get something out of it. I mean, I know, again, with the crowdfunding, they'll get whatever the product is, you know? And I set up, like, weird tiers that if you give me X amount of money, then I'll throw in extra things. And you know, I don't need someone giving me $100 to have me make these, you know? Maybe $10 a piece. $10 a piece. Oh, man. I understand that completely. I am almost at that point where I live is absolutely unacceptable. Yeah, I totally get it, man. I totally get it. Such low heights. Hope you're having a good day, Creep. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. Right back at you. Right back at you. It's a nice rainy day here in good old Massachusetts. We haven't had rain in a while, so that's why I haven't put on the lights. It's really dark in here, so the camera's probably all goofy, and grainy. It's the Atari Creep. Get over it. Hopefully I'll end up buying a condo. Yeah, dude. I don't want much. You know what? And going back to not being money motivated, I have always been the type that just wants to be simple, you know? Honestly, if I had like this little cabin in the middle of fucking nowhere, but access to go get stuff and, you know, a generator if needed, I could be happy there. I don't need this shit. I really don't. In fact, I leave my phone a lot. It's like, I've been calling you. I'm like, oh, my phone's it's over there. I haven't seen it for hours. Somebody who's on, you know, social media as much as I am as far as like TikTok and here and on the Creepy Crawl channel, my vlog. But, oh, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know. I never really wanted to get famous or rich. I'm the type of guy who wants enough. You know, I want enough. I want enough just to eat. I want enough just to have a little roof. And enough to do my little fun things, you know? And maybe put some fun out into the world. The only thing I really know how to do is create fun things. And all I've ever wanted to do my entire life is just to make things that delight people. And unfortunately, that's a gift that's given to the people who can't seem to maintain anything. So, handful of people get lucky. And it's hard work no matter what you do, whether you're really striving to do something or you're not. If you're an artist and you're trying to like I'm an artist here, This shit sits in a closet. Once in a while I'll put it out there for sale. But this shit just sits in a box in a closet. Literally all my paintings right now are in a box in the other room. I don't know, I've just never been motivated. The art has always been for me, but I've always wanted to create a product that was originally handmade, you know, that people can use, that's useful, and when they look at it, there are items, like I made a TikTok the other day with my Atari Vader. It's a wicked clean example. And we just we refurbed that joystick not too long ago, and I did the paint. It's such a, and I know the Vader came with no paint on the joystick. It was all black, but, or did it? Was that the Junior? Someone tell me in the comments. But it's things like that when I look at it, I just get happy. And I want people to experience that, and hopefully I can create something that makes them do that. And I don't mean like this channel. Like my painting right there. That's a painting I made, you know. So I want people to enjoy the things I make, whether I get rich or not. You know, it'd be nice to have a few bucks to get a cheeseburger once in a while. I really want to get a van. I want to get another van. I can't believe that whole thing went down the way it did. And I want to customize the van with spray paint and paint on it and just be like, here comes the art van. And like post up on the weekends, you know, get my easel out and just paint and have a bunch of them around the car. And just let people just be like, hey, I'll give you $50 for that. I'll give you $100 for that, you know. I did that like a yard sale here once. I live on a corner of a 5-way intersection. And there's a park right behind my house. So there's like a lot of traffic there. And I set up everything. And I posted it to all the local Facebook groups saying, you know, it's just like a pop-up art show. And some people were disrespectful about it. They were like $5. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. What? And other people were like, I'll give you $500 for this. And I was still like, get the fuck out of here. I have a couple pieces that are in. I got one piece that's in some lady's bathroom. It's like this big, and it had like fucking monsters and shit. It was like a mess of color, but it all created different monsters, and they just blended into each other, and it was actually really cool. It was really cool. And she's just like, I have to have this. I'm going to talk to my buddies at the Salem Art Commission or whatever. People say shit like that all the time. So I don't really take it with a grain of salt every time someone says something like that. And yes, even one of the most obvious ones that happened in recent times with a specific person regarding a specific company that was going to make a specific product. And during my conversation with them on here, they said something was going to be in the works and I would be involved. It's all with a grain of salt. People say the hat box goes sippy. I heard so many people say, I'll pick one up for you and I'll let you know what it costs to get it to you. And that's fine. That's fine. I mean, that's your time. You do what you got to do with your time. But so whenever someone says something like that, I always take it with a grain of salt. Always like, yeah, okay. And once in a while, I'm pleasantly surprised. So best case scenario, right? Hopefully, I'll end up buying a condo. I don't care about rich. I just want security. I guess security is a good word. I say enough. Enough. Enough to eat. I don't eat a lot. I'm a fat fuck, but I don't eat a lot. It's because I'm lazy. I sit here. Depression sucks. And I have an update on school coming up. But for you guys, here's the update. It's not happening anymore. It was funded by the U.S. Navy, and they're not sure if they're going to go electric now. And even though you didn't necessarily have to go work for the United States Navy, they were the ones funding it because they needed machinists to help make submarines. And all that went to shit. And then my math skills were just fucking horrible. They were cool with it, though. They're like, you know what? You're going to be really good at this, but once you go to a community college and get some more math, I just couldn't get it, man. You got to remember, I was a corrections officer. I didn't count heads. 5, 3, 11, you know. I'm not good with all these fucking weird formulas and stuff like that, so I was hoping to learn it all, and then one day they were just like, it's all over, guys, sorry. And I've been kind of ashamed of it. I don't know why, so I haven't really mentioned it. And it happened right about when the vlog stopped happening. So if you're a member of my vlog channel, or you subscribe to it, it's pretty easy to know how long I really was there for. It wasn't long at all. But I'm starting something new in January. I couldn't find another program that was starting anytime soon to get me back into the machine shop. So I'm going to go into, like, putting PCBs together and shit like that. Something simple, something mind-numbing, something, just give some guy who doesn't have any skills something to do. So I'm going to be doing that. It's a certification course that takes 11 weeks. And the cheat of it is I know how to do it, but there's a lot about components I don't know. I don't know why this resistor was used. I don't know why you use this kind of capacitor. When do you use a field effect resistor? Transducers and all that crap. I just know I got to replace this capacitor, and this is the value of it, so I got to put one in that's equal. I know how to solder very well, so I'm going to be walking into this new situation. Actually, probably a good 60% already there, and the test is they give you a PCB board with a little example of everything, and you got to hand do the whole thing. I'll bang that fucking thing out. I mean, I've done it here live with you guys. We made the Minty synth. I have a couple of guitar pedals that are just blank boards that are, it's ready to go. And I think I can bring those in. I'll just use their components. I'll use their components. So we haven't given up on that. I mean, it's not like I'm sitting there fucking just jagging off all day. But yeah, I really want to get this going. And sometimes what happens is the fear of making it. Like, I don't look at myself as someone who could be successful, and not because I belittle myself, but because I don't have the mindset for it. I don't have whatever that is that those people have as far as to go get them. I'm an in-the-moment kind of guy, and, I mean, don't get me wrong. If I had orders for these, if I had 50 orders for these, 50 of them would go out the fucking door in a timely manner. That's realistic for one dude who's banging them out, I wouldn't be lazy on that respect, but there's plenty of times I probably could have gotten a little kit and gotten this little guy started, and I might just do that anyway. The kit of the silicon is about $30. A small kit of resin is about the same amount, And I could probably get about 10 or 20 of them out of that one little situation. So maybe $100 would get me going, but I don't know. I just look at them sometimes and I'm like, well, what if it does take off? What's going to happen then? I don't know how. I don't do business. I don't know how to employ. I mean, I do know how to employ people. I did have I bought into a sandwich shop. I keep saying I had a sandwich shop. I bought into it, and apparently it turned out it really technically wasn't mine. When he shut it down, I went to get my money back from him. Of course, it's just like, yeah, he's just another dude he owes money to. Sorry, you should have had a lawyer with you when you signed the papers. And that was a learning experience, but I wouldn't have changed it for the world. I had my best 2-3 years or whatever there, owning my own little sandwich shop and doing my own thing, and families coming in on Fridays. Like on Friday, I couldn't eat all day because I had 3 or 4 families that would show up and expect me to sup with them, or have supper, to sup with them. So, like, I'd have a slider with this guy and a hot dog with this guy, maybe a bag of fries with this guy. I got invited to weddings for my guests. And I think a lot of it was because I don't play the customer service role. I never have. You come into my shop, I'm going to make sure you get the best experience you can. You're going to be treated with all respect. I'm going to try to give you the best product possible. And if something does go wrong, I'm going to sit there and do what I can to make it right. Whether you come back or not, I don't care. You come up to my counter with an attitude and start yelling at one of my people, that's where the game stops. Boom. All over. I had a sign that said the customer is always right until they're absolutely wrong. And there have been a number of customers that were absolutely wrong. They just get mouthy. I would have people that were habitually trying to scam free shit. I mean, we had this one group of people that would travel around and they would show up. And when I say group, it was like 15, 20 of them. And I think they were gypsies. And I mean that in no disrespect if that is a bad term. I don't know. But they would come in and they would fucking thrash the place. And then they would constantly, like I say there'd be a small handful, the older gentlemen, would make complaints to get more stuff. Which in a lot of cases, if there's a legit complaint, that's fine. I don't mind, You know, yeah, here's a couple burgers. Here's a coupon. Come back next week and, you know, get a hot dog on me. I don't know. That type of thing's fine. But after a while, it just got so fucking tired. And I'm leaning against my counter. I'm reading this thing that was called the New Times out there. A free rag that they put in all the stores, you know. And this dude comes up to me with a sandwich that was originally like this. And it's now like this. And he's like, dude, this is cold. I'm like, it's a roast beef sandwich. Yeah, if you don't eat it, it's going to get cold. I mean, there's nothing to hold on to the heat. And he just stared at me, and I went back to my magazine. And I looked back at him, and I'm like, do you want me to heat it up? I can throw it in the microwave and put a little more au jus on it, warm it up a little bit. He's like, well, that's going to make it rubbery. I'm like, okay, well, just let me know. And he just sat there and stared at me, and he left. That ended that fucking game real quick. But yeah, if you came in with an attitude, or if you were on your phone at the counter, I told my people to take the next person. Asked them to step aside. And then once they got loud, they got booted out. I will not handle disrespect because you're handing me money. Newsflash, just because you're handing me money doesn't mean you can belittle me. Or especially the kids that were working for me. And I say kids, they were early 20s, college, you know. Or not even 20. Some of them were like 18, 19. They were all great, hard-working individuals. One of them turned out to be non-documented. Oh, Jesus Christ, that was a problem. She didn't even know, though. She didn't even know. Her folks had brought her up here when she was extremely young. And she had a fake social security number. What happened was her and her friends were in a store and her friend shoplifted and got caught. So she took the blame. She's like, give it to me, I'll take the blame for it. Because her friend was undocumented. And it turned out she was too. She got fucking tanked up for like 2 months. I felt bad for her. Now, I have my opinions on this. And we won't go into that. But really good kid. And then when she came back, you know, when she came back like 2 months later and explained it, I'm like, if you get your shit straightened out, I can put you back in the counter. You're an amazing employee. And she did. She ended up getting her shit straightened out. I guess they took leniency on her because she didn't know. She honestly had no idea. So they did something with her parents, and she was mad about it too. And I don't know. But yeah, you walked up to my counter and disrespected anyone that worked with me. I don't give a shit how much money you spent in my joint. You giving me money does not give you the right to look down or speak down upon me or anyone who works for me, period. And I will treat every situation like that. Because you're giving me money for a product. You already got something from it. And you got it with a smile, and you got it with respect, and you got it, you know, conversation. We can have conversations. I'll come sit down with you. We'll hang out. I was always out on the floor if I wasn't on the grill. I was always out on the floor making sure everyone was doing well, you know. Getting napkins for people. You want me to refill that for you? It was a casual place. We didn't have waitresses. You came to the counter, ordered it, picked it up, and went sitting down, you know. But as soon as someone got fucking mouthy, unreasonably so, out the door. I actually had to physically remove a few people. And you know what was great? The whole reason I even told the story was because that's why I think I was so successful. My partner's store, it tanked. It fucking crashed in less than a year, and that's why we're no longer in business, because he decided to shut the whole brand down because he didn't want to come into my store and feel that, because it was his. He started it, you know? And he had owned a few restaurants before that, and here I am just a goofy corrections officer that had a little bit of retirement money because he had to leave his career. And I bought into the place because I was working there part-time because I was bored. I was like, what am I going to do? I'm waiting for the state to decide if my health conditions, my hip, you know, whether or not I was going to work for the state or retire, basically. And then when we decided that I was going to separate without prejudice, yeah, he was talking about opening a second one, so I tossed the guy like 40 grand. So here's 40 grand. Let me keep this one. He's like, yeah. He fucking failed the other one. And I think it was pride. I opened my store one morning and there was nothing there. It was all gone. Even took the light fixtures. The only thing that was left was a fucking cooler. It was the cooler, and it was because it was too big to get into a fucking U-Haul. He put that in, you know. He was also a licensed, they call him mechanical engineer, the people who set up the restaurant itself with the equipment. He also had a license in that too, so pretty good stuff. I miss it. It was a place called Boomer's Sweet Home Chicago in Glen on I think it was 59th and Thunderbird. God, it was so long ago, but it was in Glendale, Arizona. It was in Glendale. Really fun shop. It was really nice. It was based off of a brand in Chicago called Portillo's. The guy who owned it was originally a Chicago dude named Mike. Shady fuck. He was a nice guy, and he was very generous, but he was also shady. He was also very shady. I remember one day I bought an 83. It wasn't a Malibu wagon. It was the Pontiac version. I can't remember what it was called. Not the big Parisian. No, the Malibu one, the real boxy. And I bought that, and it already had a small block stabbed into it. And he's looking at it, and he's like, dude, those wheels are stock. And he came back 3 hours later with these fucking huge Kragers. I mean, they weren't the regular. They were like beasts. He's like, these came off my stepson's Camaro that he never did anything with, and just in my backyard, and he has his own home. So put these rims on it. I was just like, thank you, bro. And it looks sick as fuck. Although I didn't have the spaces properly, so when I would turn, you'd hear the wheel well go burp. Pretty cool. It was pretty cool stuff. So, all right, guys, I think I'm going to end it. I was going to play some games. Maybe we'll come back and play games tonight if I'm feeling it. I really want to get back into the swing of things here. I know I've been producing videos and everything, but I miss doing these. I miss the chat. I miss, playing games with you guys and riffing back and forth. But yeah, wish me luck. Wish me luck on this. I'm going to try to. Fuck, I don't know. It feels so odd thinking about like a GoFundMe or something like that. Maybe do like a $500 GoFundMe. I mean, there are people on there looking for cases of beer that get fucking money on GoFundMe. But I'm not the beggar type. I'm really not. I'd rather you have a product or something, a service from me, for you giving me money. Or like the Alzheimer's Association. Still donate. Still donate until the end of the year. But yeah, that's it. Maybe we'll get that going here pretty soon. We will be working on the Indy 500 controller. The steering wheel peripheral for one game only. And of course, we're working on the droid. So, and it turns out that big bulbous thing I bought for it, see one of my previous videos this past week. I was talking about cutting the fender part off. I'm actually thinking about cutting the front and the back off, because I want to put these lines going down the side, almost like R2 arms, but they're molded onto the body, and then have it flare out a little bit to hide the wheels. I was originally going to do kind of a triangular, almost like a tank tread look, but just like covers. But I think the sides will do that just enough. So, guys, excuse me. Thanks for hanging out this morning. I really do appreciate it. Maybe we'll do this more often on the weekends too. I need to get live streams going for my channel members. They get a lot of videos that you don't. I say a lot. They get videos that you don't. More times than not, they'll get a video a week or two before you will. My flux capacitor Atari 2600 video, they got almost a month early. That contest will be done. It's not really a contest. It's camaraderie more than anything. It's over December 1st. I got mine done on November 4th. It was just one of those things that woke up my creativity, and I fucking jumped on it and got it done. And I'm hoping people like it. I'm starting to see other... You know what? Do a search for this. Do a search for the Smuggler's Room Maker Challenge Flux Capacitor. And one dude already put his up. He made it out of an oil pan that you would, and then bring to the AutoZone and dump into the barrel after you did your own oil change. Does anyone oil change anymore? It's getting harder and harder to do your own maintenance, though, with these newer cars. It sucks. Something as simple as a tune-up. It's impossible. But, yeah, we're going to be doing that, too. But regardless, we have things coming up. Members get videos early, and not asking you to become a member, but it'd be nice if you did. It'd be nice if you did. It's 99 cents a month. And we will be doing exclusive stuff here once I start getting my schedule back together here. I got to figure, that new school starts in January. I'm getting things prepped up right now. Again, I'm trying to figure this thing out before the new year. I'm hoping to start it on the new year. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do a GoFundMe, and if you're willing to help out, I'll put prizes for anyone who does, like handheld games. Like I got a couple of the LED and VFD games I could give away for anyone who helps me out. But regardless, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. I promise this wasn't a vehicle for begging. It just came up. And that's it. I hope you enjoy your Saturday. Hope everyone's doing well. If I don't talk to you between now and then, happy Thanksgiving to those who are going to celebrate. I fucking hate the word Friendsgiving, because Thanksgiving wasn't about just family. It was literally like, I don't think the Native Americans and the settlers were related. Friendsgiving, we just need something stupid special. It's the same thing. Thanksgiving, you're giving thanks for friends, family, loved ones' health. You know, what little you may have. That's how I look at it. You can take the political stuff and all the other stuff and do whatever you want with it, but Friendsgiving always bothered me. But enjoy your thanks and Friendsgiving, should you be so inclined, and hopefully your holiday season will kick off without any hitches. Guys, wherever in the world you are, I hope you are doing well. Thanks for hanging out again. I can't say that enough. And take care. Keep it real.